welcome to Sew Pretty Kitty. This is my vlog where I talk about all the things I love about sewing. And today I have a makes video for you. So you guys who have been subscribed for a while will know that my sewjo sort of left me at the beginning of all this coronavirus pandemic. And with it being a key worker, my husband being a key worker and all the stuff with the kids and everything else, my sewjos has sort of just disappeared and I really didn't feel like sewing anything for a long time. But that all changed in May. I don't know why, but I suddenly got this urge to be creative, which has done me the world of good. I feel like 10 times better. So yeah, I'm going to show you all the things I made in May. There are a lot, so this could be a lengthy one. I might get a drink if I were you. I hope you've all been well and looking after yourselves and staying sane. It's hard in these crazy times, but I've been thinking of you all, even though I haven't been on my YouTube channel as often as I would have liked. Anyway, on to the makes. That's what you're here for. So I really had an urge to buy more fabric, and I'm one of those weird people that have to justify spending money on stuff. So I've got quite a big stash of fabric already in my cupboards and I don't really have room for any more. I don't know if you guys know, but I sew in the corner of my dining room, so there is one cupboard for my fabric and a few boxes under my desk, and when they're full up there really isn't anywhere else to put fabric, although there is some fabric under the bed. Don't tell my husband. Yeah, so I thought the best way to justify buying some more fabric is to think of ways to be creative, to use up some of those scraps of fabric that are too nice to recycle with projects that are quite small, mainly for kids and stuff. So I started with shorts. My son is nearly 7. And he is constantly wrecking his trousers, and now it's a bit sunnier. I wanted to make him some shorts, and so I dug through my stash and found some fabrics that I had, and I made him some shorts. So I can't remember the name of the pattern, but I will pop it on the bottom of the screen. It's a pyjama pattern predominantly, but it's a pair of shorts, right? So it doesn't really matter. And I used some old jerseys. So I started with a cocoa dress that I had made using some black cotton jersey that hasn't got much elastane in it, and that was a reason why I never really wore that cocoa dress. Plus it's not really, I know loads of people love the cocoa dress from Tilly and the Buttons, but it's not really a very flattering shape for me, and because the fabric didn't have much in the way of recovery, I never really wore it, so I thought I'll chop that up to begin with because he needs a pair of shorts. So this is the first pair I made, and they're just simple jersey shorts with an elasticated waistband, and I had some of these iron-on patches, or sew-on patches. I iron them on and sew them on just to be sure, that my husband bought me for Christmas. They're all covered in fluff because I've got a fluffy thingy. But yeah, so that was the first pair, made out of an old dress. The second pair I made using some fabric, monster fabric. So if you look at this, it's really cute. It's got loads of monsters all over it. And I originally made him a t-shirt out of this fabric. So he's got a matching pyjama set if he wants, but equally he can wear this with a black t-shirt in the summer for mucking about in the garden. And I put one of my Kylie and the Machine labels in this one because he's used to sitting in the back and the front, and it's quite hard with this sort of shape of short to know which way is the back and the front. And then the third pair I made him was another remnant of jersey that I just had hanging about that was never going to be anything for me, so I've made him a green pair, and I put this Transformers patch on this one. So 3 pairs of shorts for free out of stuff that already had lurking in my cupboard, so that made me feel good. The next thing I did was, I've been watching Tamlin from Sewn on the Tyne. She's expecting a baby, which is exciting, and I've got 2 new niblets. That's the term for nieces and nephews, I think. So I've got a little girl and a little boy to sew for, which is really exciting, although I miss them dreadfully because I haven't been able to hug them or spend any time really with them. So I thought I would use the patterns. Is it peg legs? Oh, my memory's rubbish today. I'll pop the name of them down below. But I think it's Patterns for Pirates, Petite Pegs, that's right. So Tamlin had been sewing some of these up and I thought, oh, I'll have a go at that. So I printed the pattern out. It's a really simple PDF to put together because they're tiny, and I just spent a whole day with my overlocker just cracking out these trousers, and they are so cute. Can't wait to give them to the two niece and nephew I've got. So the first pair are made using French terry, which I think I got from Loubidou Fabrics, possibly. No, I think I got this one at a knitting and stitching show, actually. I can't remember the name of the shop. But I used some teal green Pontoroma that I had left over from another project, and I just about squeaked out the waistband and made a wearable pair of little trousers out of that remnant. The next remnant, you have seen this fabric before. I made my son a sweatshirt out of it. So I got little fox trousers out of this one. This has got Pontoroma cuffs in black. And yeah, there's just such a simple pattern, I'm telling you. So quick, especially if you've got an overlocker, you can just zoom through them. The next pair, little cute pink ones. So this was originally a t-shirt that I made for myself, and I had a small remnant of this left over and had no idea what to do with it. So it's a lighter weight sort of jersey, and I think they're just going to look so cute with a little white t-shirt. So there's those. The next ones, my daughter several years ago, I mean, she still loves sausage dogs, but several years ago she was seriously into sausage dogs, and I was at the knitting and stitching show and saw this mustard jersey, and it was quite expensive, so I think I only bought a metre, and I managed to make her a little raglan sleeve t-shirt out of it, and there was enough left over to just make a little pair of these. So they're all different sizes. The pattern goes from newborn to 12 months, and currently, well, one of the babies was born in December and the other in February, so there's a range of sizes here. Just I had to sort of like see how much I had fabric wise. This is a lighter weight jersey anyway, so this will be fine for sort of late summer, early autumn. And on this one I used a grey Pontoroma for the waistband. There's more, there's more. So I was like a woman possessed, I can't tell you. You know when you just get on a roll, and I was like, yeah, if I make all this stuff I can buy some new fabric. So it really motivated me. It's worth doing if you've got anyone to sew for. The next pair I made dandelion dungarees from Sew Over It some time ago with this fabric as a newborn gift, and so they had enough left over just to get a little pair of these little leggings out with some leftover. I think actually I made a Tilly and the Buttons hoodie with this sort of mustardy, it's got a melange kind of effect to it. So there's another pair. And then the last pair I made using some really cool fabric that I had left over, which is novelty print Christmas fabric. So I've got a little pair of Christmassy gingerbread men, petite pegs. Yeah, so I did pretty well that day, or it was a couple of days, I think, over the course of a couple of days. I managed to sew out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of little leggings, and they're quite addictive once you get going. Then I thought, right, I've got some scraps, some really tiny scraps left over now, so what can I make out of those? And I was on Instagram and I saw someone had made a pair of, again, can't remember the name, we'll pop it down below. They're like, what were they called? Can't remember. Yeah, Knickers, anyway, Knickers. So, you know when you just fancy having a go at something, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I had just enough fabric left over, so I thought, well, it's a PDF, it's free. I'll just have a go and see, you know, muck around, see how it turns out. And they don't look the most attractive knickers in the world, but, you know, my daughter she's 12, so I have no problem with her wearing unattractive knickers right now. and they have monsters on, which she initially laughed at, was like, oh my God. But she says that these are the most comfortable knickers in her drawer, because I think they don't have elastic. They have literally like cuffs, like you would put on a sweatshirt or those leggings, and that makes them really quick and easy to sew up. So yeah, the only thing I wasn't keen about them, I have made knickers in the past, and you'll remember that I said at the time that life was too short to make knickers, and it still is kind of too short to make knickers, but because these don't have elastic on, they're not quite so fiddly to make. So I think I probably will make more of these. In fact, the other two have already asked for a pair because these are so cool, apparently. The only thing I wasn't keen on was the construction of the gusset. So usually if you're making knickers, you can do this thing called like a burrito gusset, where you sort of tuck it round, and then when you sew it together and turn it out, all the raw edges are encased. But on this pair, you have an encased edge on one edge of the gusset, but the other edge was just overlocked and left, and so there's like a pocket there, which I thought was a bit strange. But you know, for a free pants pattern, you can't really say fairer than that. So that used up the last of that monster jersey. Then, I mean, I had a jersey sewing week that week, so it's pretty much all jersey makes. So there are some wovens coming, so hang around if you prefer woven items. But I made, so previous vlog I talked about some Juno pyjamas, which I made using some leopard print jersey from Louis D Fabrics. And these have been so comfortable, and they've been like my coronavirus uniform. So when I'm at home, they're just really nice to just sling on and slouch around in. Not so much when it's hot and sunny, but I wanted a top to go with them. And when I was hunting through all my fabric, I came across some white jersey. It's just a cotton jersey, again, hasn't got great recovery, so I haven't really used it to make anything special, but it's good enough to make a vest top out of. And I remembered that I had made the Winnats tank, so the Wendy Ward book, Beginner's Guide to Knitted Fabrics, I think it's called. There's a Winnats tank top pattern in there, which I have used before, only once so, and I found it quite tight under the underarm, and yeah, and I only really ever wore it to bed. But I feel more confident with my pattern alteration skills these days, so and I've got a French curve ruler, so I thought I'll have a go at just lowering the arm side and making sure that it's more comfortable underneath there, and it turned out well. So the first one I made was this white one, and this is to go with my trousers. So you can see it says nope, and that is because my kids constantly are asking for food. I am just, it drives me crackers, literally crackers. There is every second of the day, I'm hungry, what's to eat? Is there anything to eat? Can I have a snack? No. When you're at school, you don't eat all day, and besides anything else, it's costing an absolute bomb, all the food shopping. So I thought this was quite funny. As I'm wondering, I said to the kids, this is the answer. No, you're not having any more food. Food is done. You've had a snack. Go and play. So yeah, that one out of some remnant white jersey. And like I said, I altered the pattern nicely so that I've got it absolutely perfect for me now. And I'll probably do a little twirl of me wearing this one because it's more of a sort of wearing outside Winnats tank. But as you can see, it's just a simple tank top, and it's much more comfortable now that I've altered the arms and I twin needled the bottom hem. I'm still debating about whether to get a cover stitch machine. I really don't have the space for one. I kind of think, you know, I find twin needling quite easy and straightforward, so do I really need a cover stitch machine? What do you think? Have you guys got one? Do I need one? Should I buy one? I don't know. Anyway, I'll pop in a twirl of me wearing that tank top here. So, the last of the jersey makes, and this was a piece of fabric that I have had and I have been sort of coveting and loving and not wanting to cut into for such a long time that I just finally had to get my big girl pants on and literally just do it. So this fabric came from, I think I bought it at the Handmade Fair, maybe? Don't remember, but I loved it because of the turquoise blue colour. And you can see there are, I think they're guinea fowl, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like guinea fowl to me all over this print. And it's turquoise, and there's coral, and there is blue and pink. And yeah, when I saw that piece of fabric, I only bought 1 metre, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to make with that, but I love it. And the trouble with those sorts of bits of fabric is you love them and then they just get put in a box, and you take them out occasionally and admire them and then put them away again. And I thought, you know, I need to wear this. So this is one of my all-time favourite summer dress patterns. It is the Peak t-shirt from Wendy Ward's book that I talked about just now. There's a couple of patterns in that book that have really become sort of staples in my wardrobe that I make over and over again, and this t-shirt, this dress pattern is one of them. It's so simple, so straightforward, and I think it's really flattering on my figure, so I really love these dresses. So it's just a simple t-shirt shape. This is the first one I've made without the sleeves, so I literally just put a cuff around the armhole to make it into more of a tank shape, and that was because I ran out of fabric. I didn't have enough for the sleeves. I probably would have put sleeves on it if I'd had the option, but this makes it a nice summer's day dress. And then you have an elasticated waist, and it comes down to around about my knees. The elasticated waist isn't the prettiest thing in the world because it's not in a channel or anything, so she tells you just to stitch it straight onto the fabric. And I do keep thinking to myself, I should just add 1 inch into the pattern around the waistband and then make a channel so that it would be a bit nicer to look at from the inside. Because this is what you end up with, is just a line of elastic with some zigzag stitching all the way around. And you do that in exactly the same way as you would fit a neckband. You sort of quarter the elastic and then stretch it as you zigzag it on. So yeah, it's not the nicest finish in the world on the inside, but you know what, no one can see the inside, and for a comfortable summer dress, this I think is perfect. I've got a stripy one, I've also got a grey one with swallows on, which is where this remnant came from, and I love it. So I will put in a little twirl of me wearing it here. So I moved from my jersey obsession into a more of a woven obsession. Looking through my stash of fabrics, I decided that it was about time I used up some of the fabric I'd gotten with my gift voucher that was kindly given to me when I left my old job, which was 2 years ago now. So that fabric's been sat in my stash for a while. And I always intended to make an Ogden Cami with this piece of fabric, so I just thought, just get it done, you know. It was meant to go with something else anyway. So everyone knows what an Ogden Cami looks like, I'm sure. This one is in like a navy blue viscose. It's ever so soft and really drapey, and actually feels a little bit like a peach skin. It's very soft. And I wanted a navy blue cami because I'd made a skirt, a navy blue scuba skirt with flowers all over it to wear to work. And so this is why I originally bought this fabric. But the Ogden Cami, although lots of people rave about it, for me it's never really fit me perfectly. So I decided to make some alterations to the pattern to get the fit absolutely perfect, and it's almost there. So what I did was, my other Ogden Camis, when I wear them, I don't feel like there's enough room here, so the straps sort of come in too far, and really what I need is just an extra centimetre or so in the midline so that it moves the straps over just ever so slightly. It's ever such a simple pattern to construct. There is no darts or anything, so I thought by adding that little extra piece in the middle of the pattern, and all I literally did was, you normally put those pattern pieces on the fold, I moved them away from the fold by 1 centimetre, which effectively added 2 centimetres to the middle of the pattern. And I think I probably could have done with just a fraction less, because the straps are okay now, but I probably didn't need quite 2 centimetres. But anyway, it's perfectly wearable. It's just not absolutely perfect for what I want, but I'm sure I'll make more. Yeah, so I also put inside this one a little handmade label that says sewn, I don't know if you can see that, sewn in lockdown. And this label is made from a silk shirt that was given to me by my mother-in-law, that was given to her by someone else, because it was 100% silk. They didn't want to just recycle it, because, you know, those silkworms, they worked hard to make that shirt, so I didn't want to waste it. So I have used it for little tiny bits and pieces here and there, and I just thought, actually, that makes this, it sort of elevates this Ogden Cami for me and makes it really special. So yeah, I was pleased with that. I used my Cricut machine to do the writing, and then that's just iron on vinyl stuck on top of the silk, and then I've hand sewn it onto the facing. So yeah, I was really pleased with that one. So I will show you a twirl of me wearing that. Right, just 2 things left to go now. Yeah, so next one, the Tilly and the Buttons book, the Make It Simple, I think it's called, the new one that's come out. I've obviously made the Juno pyjama bottoms out of that book. I had a disastrous fail with the, can't remember the name of the dress, but it's a very simple grown on sleeve kind of dress with a belt around the middle, and I made it out of the absolute wrong fabric and it looked hideous. That put me off for a bit, and then I thought I'll give the Sapphire Jumpsuit a try, because quite a few people have made that and been happy with it. This fabric I had in my stash already. Oop! Throwing it on the floor now. I had this fabric in my stash already. It's just a plain, I think it's just 100% polyester, sort of viscosy fabric. It's not very luxurious to feel. It's doesn't wrinkle though, so that's a good thing about it, but cutting it you could see sort of plasticky fibres in there, so it's really not the most natural fibre in the world. But having said that, it's quite cool to wear. It isn't all sweaty, so that's good. So yeah, the Safiya Jumpsuit. It's a really simple pattern. The whole idea is you step into it. So the first thing I would say, if you're thinking of making this pattern and you have hips, because most of us women do have hips, if your hips are wider than your bust, definitely go by your hip measurement to choose the size for this pattern. Tilly does say in the book it's a good idea to sew the facing and then try stepping through it, because you literally, if you can't get that over your hips, you're going to have to put a zip in it or something. That does mean that actually when you've pulled it on, the top is quite loose fitting and baggy. Well, I suppose it depends on your body shape, but for me, my hips are definitely wider than my bust. So, but the whole idea is it's kind of a loose, breezy, relaxed jumpsuit that is not meant to be fitted. So without a tie belt, this is not something that I would wear outside. And I have to say that this fabric, do you guys find that you can love a fabric on the bolt? You can even love it as a flat piece of material, but in order to wear it, you kind of a bit, I don't know, I like it as a fabric, but I don't know if I like it as a garment. Does that make any sense? I'm not sure if it's me, if it suits my style. Anyway, I have worn it and people have complimented it and liked it, so maybe I should just wear it a few more times and see. So it's got really wide legs and it's such a simple construction. It has got a facing. The facing does flip out. I even tacked it down in the seams, but it still flips out. I think it's because it's a loose style, so it's not tight to your skin, so where it comes forward slightly, occasionally the facing does flip out. And I thought to myself, after I made this one, the next one I make, I'm going to just make 2 bodices and line it, self-line it, or, you know, line it with something else, so that when I put it together, instead of sandwiching the straps between the facing and the bodice, I'm just going to sandwich them between 2 bodices and flip them over and then attach them to the trousers. But I ignored my own advice and made another one anyway, because I didn't have anything to make the lining out of, but I'll show you that in a minute. So yeah, this one, not sure. I mean, it's very tropical, it's very summery. My daughters like it, but whether I am going to reach for it as much as the next one, I'm not sure. And then the last one, same pattern, but I had some inspiration from Pinterest for this one. So I'll try and pop in a picture of the Pinterest inspiration shot for you to see. I happened to be doing my food shopping in a Tesco store when they had the 50% off clothing going on, and I've been looking at maybe getting a denim jacket for a while. I have had a pale blue one, but I wanted sort of like a darker jeans colour denim jacket, and they had some, and with the 50% off they were £11, so I was like, I'm going to get one. So this is the jeans jacket that I got. So that was the first part of the look put together, and then I really thought that the Sapphire jumpsuit would make an excellent jumpsuit for that look. So yeah, I've made a black one, so it's not going to be very easy for you to see, but this is made out of a viscose twill, which I've not worked with before. Lots of people have been talking about viscose twill. It seems to be the thing to be sewing with at the moment. So I thought I would give it a go. This fabric came from Amazon. It was £5.99 a metre. It's probably not the nicest quality viscose twill in the world, but it does the job. I will say viscose twill frays, or this did, it frayed a lot, so I had to be very careful actually when you were unpicking it, because I did have to unpick when I was distracted. I sewed a seam together wrong, and unpicking it is, you know, hairy. I was like this, I'm gonna make a hole in it. But yeah, I finally got it all together looking nice, and I'm much more happy with this one than I am with the other one, purely because this is just more me, it's more my style. So exactly the same jumpsuit. I will put a picture of me wearing it. I bought some tanned coloured sandals and a bag as also to sort of recreate the whole look, because I was really keen on that, and I'm really pleased with the way it turned out. So yeah, here's a twirl. Whew! Told you it was a long one. That's everything I made in May, although that black jumpsuit I made yesterday, so beginning of June, so it's a bit of a cheat, but I'm really pleased, and my sewjo's come back. I'd missed it. I always miss it when I lose the desire to sew. I never stop thinking about sewing. I always still want to be doing it, but the actual sitting down and getting it done sometimes is just really hard, especially when you've got children at home and everything else that's going on. So all of that meant that I could order myself some new fabric, and I haven't opened it. I have left it for you guys to see me open it because I'm so excited. I can't even really remember what it was I ordered because everything's taking a little while to come. So, Minerva Crafts, I ordered from them because they are, I work for their blogger team often, and I like their range of fabrics and their reasonable pricing, so I ordered myself some fabric. See if I can get it out of the packaging. Ooh, you can tell I like the first one already. So what have we got here? You won't be surprised by the fact that it's animal print, because I loves me an animal print. Ooh, interesting. Oh, I like it. I like it. What do you think? It's a jersey. It's quite a heavy jersey. I had a dress in mind, but now I'm looking at it, I'm thinking maybe a cardigan. I think this could be a good cardigan. I've been pinning some looks with long grey leopard print cardigans over black jeans or white jeans. It's printed on, so it's not sort of knitted into the fabric. It's a printed on. Yeah, I quite like that. Pleased with that. I think I got 2 meters of that one. And then what else did I buy? Oh, a zip. The zip is for my husband's shorts. His favourite shorts have the zip's gone, so this is just a heavy duty jeans type zip for his shorts for the summer. And I got some grey fabric. I can't even remember what I was going to do with this grey fabric. I'm sure it'll come back to me. Just a plain, it feels like a cotton lawn or a poplin maybe. Just in this sort of Air Force grey colour. Yeah, can't even remember why I thought, oh, I need some of that. But I'm sure I will have scribbled it down somewhere. So yeah, there will be probably more fabric coming because now the floodgates have opened. I'm now looking on fabric stores for inspiration all the time. I feel like I've justified it though because I've used my scraps up. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys, because we've been half an hour. Thanks for staying if you are still here. Well done. And I'll see you next time for what, oh, I don't know, whatever takes my fancy. Thanks ever so much, guys. Please press the subscribe button and the little bell and leave me comments. I love interacting with you all and chatting to you about sewing. So I'll see you next time. Bye.